Hi, I'm Keith Cotter and welcome to the HSB Academy tutorial session. In today's session we're going to learn about structural blocking. Structural blocking can be applied after you frame the wall, and we're also going to see how you can change the properties of that structural blocking. We're going to learn about two types of structural blocking. We're going to learn about the structural blocking that can apply to the entire frame, and we're also going to learn about how you can apply it just to part of the frame. So let's take a look and jump in. So what we're going to do is, to make life a little bit easier, is we're going to turn off all the other elements in the console here. And I'm just going to focus in on this particular element. And we're going to turn off now also maybe the zones both on the back and front, so that we make this a little bit easier to see. Okay, so on the hsbStickFrame ribbon we have our structural blocking tool set, and when we select that you can now see that these are the properties that you can align to your frame. So first of all, you can set the blocking to be centered, bottom or top, and that basically is the dimension that you're going to put in here for the elevation, which is the height of the blocking. Do you want that elevation to be at the center of the blocking, the bottom or the top? Next we have the orientation, whether you want that on a flat or an edge orientation. And moving on to the blocking, you can control whether it's on the front, back or both. And finally you can select a particular inventory item that you've already previously set up, or you can use some of the defaults. So in this case I'm going to use a 38 by 140 in this case. We also have a blocking minimum value, and that basically would be that if the spacing between the stud centers was less than 50 mil, it would not generate any blocking. And as I already discussed, you have the elevation, which is the height of the blocking, and finally you can build in a tolerance. So instead of just trying to jam that blocking in between the stud, you can also build in a tolerance that will allow a gap. So let's apply this. So we say OK, and down here you can see it says select item containers. I'll select the item container and finish. And you will now see that it assigns the blocking. Now if we zoom in here, you'll notice that there's a line here, and this line is actually the tool that we have for the blocking. So in this case what we're now going to do is we're going to change some of these properties. So you'll see here as I go down to the properties, I have all the relevant property tools. So under HSB block alignment, if I hover over the text, this will give me some of the properties that we already set. And 0 in this case is center. So if I were to change that property now to 1, you will now see that the entire blocking moves up, and that the line of the blocking is now to the bottom of the beam. Likewise with orientation, I could also change this from 1 to 0, and you'll now see that it will completely rotate around the blocking in this case as well. So, and last but not least, if we take one more look here at the blocking side, and in this case you can see that you can change it from the front to the back to both. Maybe this is more effective if I change this back to 1. You'll see here that it's currently on the front side, and if I were now to change this to 1, you'll now see that it orientates the blocking to the back side of the frame. Of course, what we can also do is this has now applied the blocking to the entire framed element right along the complete length of the element. If we go back to the hsbStickFrame again, and we now take a look at the section blocking, very similar again, has all the same properties as we had here. This time I'm going to use maybe 1 meter by 1 meter, an elevation of 1 meter. I'm going to keep all the same properties. I'm going to use the inventory item 38 by 140, and this time I'm going to say, rather than picking an item container, I'm just going to pick the point from here to here. And you'll now see that it essentially selects the blocking only in the defined area that I picked. But watch what I can now do, which is really a nice feature here. I can take that grid point, I can drag it to another point, and you can now see that I can adjust the size of the blocking area. So by moving those particular grid points, you can now see that you can adjust essentially the blocking in a direction that you want to go. So I'm Keith Cotter. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next session.